Hey folks, Fever here. Because of the title of the video, I'm going to explain why I think in the terms of Lost Ark that gold at this point is trash. And it's sort of like an investing guide in some way. So I'm going to explain my thought process behind this and how you should approach the economy and market of Lost Ark. So first off, I want to get off is how I'm making my gold. I'm mainly selling most of my crafting materials. So at the very beginning of the game, or at least the very first week of Lost Ark, I've sold basically all my weapons, armors, right? And some of these were going to around like 50 gold to 100 gold each, and that is across all my other alts, right? Now I'm also just to put it out there, this is a free-to-play account somewhat, because I still have my platinum chests. Let's see where it is. Right here. I still have the tradable versions of them, and then I have the non-tradable versions over here. So I still haven't really opened them or used them all that much, or sold them to the market whatsoever. So it's somewhat free to play. The only particular one that I've actually bought here, so I see how I still have my royal crystals. The one I bought, I believe, is the level 50 complete pack. So I would recommend you grab this guy right here, because the value of the royal crystals and to blue crystal conversion is very good. So that's really the only pay to win part. That's roughly 11 bucks. I mean, that's hardly really play to win, in my opinion. But I digress. One of the reasons, like if we look at the market right now, right? So if we look at leap stones, right? So we look at leap stones right now. I'm in tier 2, right? So I'm selling these leap stones for about 200 gold sometimes, right? 175 at this point. So we're at, I think, around the 2nd to 3rd week of Lost Ark, right? And these prices will continue to stay this, I think, for another 2 weeks or so, right? Similarly, I was selling leap stones for tier 1 as well, and making a lot of gold. So now you say, okay, because of this, right, the mentality that you want to approach this is to basically sell items that you make, that you basically generate daily to the market, because eventually all these items are going to drop in price. They're essentially trash, right, at the grand scheme of the game, right? Eventually everyone's going to be in T3, right? So T3 is going to be in high demand. So these stones are most likely going to go up in price, because right now the population, we're looking for maybe the general population to sit at T3, and once that sits there, that's the peak price for these particular items, right? So I've also not been selling, well, I sell some of these destruction stones here and there, depending on if I have a lot of excess materials from all the alts that are generating all these crafting materials. But in general, I'm only using the bound versions of these to push my characters. My character's almost at T3 right now. I'll probably hit T3 this week. But anyway, back to the original topic, why gold is trash, right? So if you were to do this method where you sell these leap stones, like let's say these leap stones, the tradable versions are like 200 gold each, right? And if you go to the store and you go to the conversion rate of these crystals, right, you could literally sell these leap stones, then buy blue crystals, right? And then with those blue crystals, buy the Marnie shop. See how you get 10 leap stones here. That is what? That is $2,000 worth, 2,000 gold worth of leap stones for only what is that? Less than 100 gold. If you were to do the math here on the blue crystals, at least based on this current market, right? So I'm sitting here trying to buy as many blue crystals as I can, because I still think the blue crystals will likely keep going up because the fact that the general market, or the general population that is not at tier 3, and tier 3 is where the peak generation of gold into the economy is at its like plateau, right? So since we haven't reached that point, and since players are still most likely right now in the starting phase of T2, just because of how the prices of the market is shifting based on leapstone demand. This is why I'm still buying more and more blue crystals, and then using those blue crystals to essentially buy from the Marnie shop. So I would recommend you do this if you're struggling with progressing through the content or honing your gear, right? Now the other thing is the topic about having too much gold. I think having too much gold is actually pretty bad. If you're hovering above, I think 5,000 gold at this point, maybe next week it'll be about 10,000 gold. I think you should be instead spending that gold to buy skins or mounts, basically items that cannot be generated or created anymore, right? So very good particular one to purchase is this cat chest, or maybe even the platinum chests, right? The platinum skins that is up here. If you have that much excess gold, you should be purchasing these. I think these would at least exceed 100,000 gold by the time everyone's at tier 3. Definitely, probably even more than that. Probably at least a quarter million gold, most likely, at its peak. So this is essentially the idea. If you have this much gold. Now the other point is I'm also buying a bunch of crafting materials. If you can notice here, I'm also purchasing a lot of fish and a lot of ancient relics over time. So I'm accumulating these over time because I know that at least for terms of fish and most likely meat, which I will begin accumulating soon, will be the end game. Whenever Argos or Voltan gets added into the game, you'll eventually see people start looking into cooking recipes, right? These right now, I don't think a lot of people have even researched or even at a high enough stronghold level to even start creating these, right? So you notice how in any of these things, the main ingredient really is fish and meat, right? And these buffs are huge. These buffs give you almost like a 10 to 20% increase in your damage, which is fairly important when you're playing against playing hard content, basically. So this is why I think at least the current market, which is these two right here, these prices are fairly low, right? Second thing is ancient relics. I think ancient relics will still go up, especially wildflower. I think wildflower will probably go up maybe in the 70s, 80s. But I'm still thinking the most value here is the relics, because we haven't. Again, we're not at tier 3. At tier 3, your percentage on honing gear is gonna be abysmal. You'll be failing like 10 times straight, like in a row, right? You haven't seen, if you think the honing in tier 1 and tier 2 is bad, wait until you get to tier 3 and you'll be failing till the point where you're maxing the pity system, right? When that occurs, when the general population is at that point, that's when the consumption of ancient relics start becoming higher and higher, right? Because you're getting lower and lower percentage for each of your honing clicks, right? Now, with that, so this is where I'm storing most of my gold, and there, as we have inflation moving into the gold, because at every Thursday, right? Every Thursday, that is every Thursday, there's a new creation or new gold that enters the economy. And this is why prices will continue to rise as we move forward, right? Until I think at tier 3, where you're failing a lot where it also costs gold, because at tier 3 it's gonna cost you between 100 to 200 gold every time you click, and you're probably gonna fail, you know, 10 to 20 times, which then adds another element into the economy where there's a gold sink, right? But I don't think right now, based on, since everyone's not in tier 3, obviously I keep repeating this, there is no, you know, gold sink or apex predator basically in the economy. With that said, I would say keep your gold count low. Start buying most of your skins. If you have too much gold, buy skins and buy crafting materials, just because they're gonna always be there. Now, the other thing I've also haven't spoke about is the I've also been purchasing a lot of potions. I think that if you're not familiar, in the Russian and Korean version, the potions, you can sell the green and purple potions. So in here you were able to trade these, right, in the market, but this is the only one that you can actually make and become tradable, right? And these are the ingredients you really need. So this is why one of those things that I like to include as your purchase is wildflowers, because I think this will always be in demand, just because since there are builds that want to use green potions instead of purple potions, because this is 60 and this is 30% HP recovery. But with that since this is the lowest grade tradable potion that you can sell on the market, if we go to combat, and I think it is under recovery, this is really the only one. And I think when Argos comes out, we're gonna have a lot of pot chuggers, right? A lot of people are not gonna understand the mechanics. People are gonna be just, you know, not able to understand how to play the game, and they're gonna pot chug like crazy. Yeah, we'll see right now. I see it at 19. I'm certainly buying these around below 20, right? If you were to do the calculation based on how much it takes to basically build a potion right now, I think I calculated, if you were to buy all these ingredients basically on the market and trying to make these potions, you would actually lose money compared to just going to market right now and purchasing the potion outright. I think it was around like 23 gold it cost to make each potion, right? So the fact that you're buying at 19 is very good. So these are kind of the strategies you can also implement in the market, where you are checking the crafting or the gold amount for all these crafting materials, and then basically purchasing or selling based on what you're seeing, right? So right now I'm not buying crafting materials to make potions. Maybe in the future when Argos comes out, it's actually viable to actually purchase crafting materials and then make those potions and sell those potions on the market. So, but right now I'm a buyer, not a seller. Hopefully that clears up what my intentions are with the market. And again, these are recommendations, so take them with a grain of salt. If you like the content, make sure you like and subscribe, and check me out on Twitch. See you around.